Support my content by becoming a patron on patreon.com/JaianMusic.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Anime Podcasters, brought to you by your hosts, JaianMusic and Hotshot Ginger. I am Hotshot Ginger, and with me I have my beloved host. How are you today, Jaden?
I'm very well. Welcome back to Anime Podcasters, guys. I was not expecting such a nice, calm, soothing intro, Hotshot. And you know what? For someone who's like going through the playlist and always hearing me going, "Hi guys," and like they click on this one, they'll be like, "Whoa, what is this? Am I still in the same playlist?" You are. This is Anime Podcasters, episode 56, and today's topic is one that are very amazing. Fan, I would say, like leaving us 3 5-star reviews. Kakashi Nindogs asked us to do a podcast on the Hokages in Naruto, so that is the topic. But before we get to that, Hotshot, how have you been, bro? Because it's been a minute. How are you?
I'm just fine. Sorry, I had something in my throat. That's why it sounds so calm and pleasant.
Oh,
I'm actually doing fine. I'm getting some R&R from my actual job, and now I'm here recording with you across the nations and just sitting on a couch.
Good. I'm doing very well myself. It's summer mode, so just, more hours than just working on content. I actually took last week off from uploading because I had this big project I'm working on, and it will, in due time, you will understand why I took time off, guys. I never took a week off in so long, and it felt so nice to just have a break, and I think it's important.
I'm just gonna say, from all the time that I've known you, it's very weird to hear you say the sentence, "I took the week off."
Okay, whatever. Let's get into the topic before you piss me off, because this is not where I want to be. Okay.
This is gonna be Anime Podcasters, so yeah, I am gonna piss you off.
Oh gosh. All right. So the topic is Hokages. Hotshot. Let's start with the beginning, and I'm not talking about the first Hokage. We'll go through each Hokage, but to you, what is the Hokage title? What does it represent? How important is it? Just kind of give us your general overview on the Hokages.
To me, the Hokage is someone who, and if you guys don't know, briefly, Hokage is the leader of the Hidden Leaf Village in the anime Naruto. Just getting that out there.
Well, good call, yeah.
But to me, a Hokage is someone who protects and puts the village first. They are always on the lookout of the village. They are always there for all citizens, be it as small as someone's ball running down the street to worldwide domination villain coming after the village to destroy the village. They are the first one on the front lines, and they are the ones that answer the smallest problems. They are someone that the village can look up to, someone that the village trusts, someone from their own village that like they know, so they're amongst their peers, they're amongst like everyone who knows the Hokage, who grew up with the Hokage, like they actually know who they are, so they actually know who's behind the desk and who's actually watching over them. And it doesn't hurt to be the strongest ninja, like being able to defend so like no one else can beat you, say if you're put in a tournament. But at the same time, if you're the one who has the drive to protect, to prove, to serve, and to put the village before yourself, I feel like that puts you as the best Hokage.
Definitely. The Hokage, it's a title. It's bestowed on by the committee, the 2 elders. Remember when the third passes away and then they reach out to Jiraiya? Those individuals, they select the Hokage, or if the Hokage has a successor, then that's how it goes down. The successor will take the role. I think that's how it worked out with Kakashi, because he was next in line after Tsunade becoming the 6th. Basically, it's the strongest ninja in the village at that point in time, arguably the strongest ninja in the village, and like the responsibility, they decide what squad goes on which mission. We remember when Naruto's squad it first starts out when Kakashi's the Jonin. They go see the third, and then they go on the whole Land of Wave mission. That's what they select. They take care of funding, just leave village affairs. Obviously strongest ninja, yes, but you need a whole staff. It's almost like a governmental placement in the Leaf Village. Would you agree?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, granted, you have the elders who are basically like the guides, I guess, for the Hokage, if nothing else, but the Hokage is like the top of the, like, they're the ones that the people actually know, so like they're the face of the village. Hell, there's a mountain of a carving of their faces on it, so you know that, hey, we voted this guy after this guy.
Yeah. And now there's been a total of 7 Hokages. We've had Hashirama, Tobirama, Hiruzen, Minato, Tsunade, Kakashi, and current Hokage, Naruto, which I want to start here maybe. I was so surprised. I really thought after
You want to start with Naruto?
No, I was surprised.
Sorry,
No, it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. When Tsunade stops being Hokage, really thought Naruto was gonna be Hokage, but then Kakashi comes into the mix for a little bit. But that was weird, or right?
Honestly, I'm gonna say no. Honestly, if Naruto went into being Hokage right after Tsunade stepped down, you gotta keep in mind that Naruto was still 17 at the time, fresh after the Ninja War. So being 17 and being appointed a Hokage, someone to run the entire village for whatever the case, be it diplomacy or trade rackets, that kind of thing, supporting other people on their missions.
But Hotshot, the strongest ninja was not Kakashi. He loses his Sharingan. And you're telling me the strongest...
He got it back.
No, he loses he doesn't get his Sharingan back. In Boruto, he doesn't have his Sharingan back.
He doesn't have both as Magenko?
No, he gets them both back temporarily, and then he doesn't have them ever again.
So he just has two eyes?
Yeah, he loses.
That's fine.
But he's not the strongest anymore, right? He's...
Okay, what exactly to you means strongest?
The strongest ninja...
What is strongest?
The best fighter, the strongest fighter, the one who kicks the most
That
butt.
is not... Bullshit!
What do you mean? The strongest ninja.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So I will fully admit to you that Kakashi, no. In terms of what you're saying, strongest in terms of battle prowess, no, he is not the strongest ninja. But he is the one who... He's probably, honestly, the wisest ninja in the village.
My guy.
So he has the intellect, aside from, probably Shikamaru, but I'll get to him later. So he probably is the one who has the most battle tactics, the most wisdom, the most experience. He's the one who can actually drive from all this. And plus, he was only, as a placeholder for Hokage until Naruto got old enough to overtake the role.
I mean...
everyone in the village knew this.
My take on this is Hokage Kakashi was the safer choice. Joining Naruto becoming Hokage then is the better choice. That's how I see it.
I can honestly agree with you, but the thing is that, if Naruto went straight into being Hokage after the Great Ninja War, he would have absolutely no idea other than just yeah, I made it, and then it's now what?
But that's why he has a team to guide him and help him with, In Boruto, he's 7th, and Shikamaru's there and helping him out. Sai is there and helping him out. They have...
Sai's the teacher in the...
But he still comes to the Hokage office with intel to help out Naruto during the whole Earth Village crisis with
So you gotta understand then, we're not just waiting for Naruto to grow up to overtake the role as Hokage. We're waiting for his classmates to grow up and develop their experience as ninja in order to actually help him as Hokage.
So you're saying it's a generational thing?
It's a generational thing, yeah. So Naruto's generation was still too young to lead the next generation.
But they were young enough to go save Sasuke in the retrieval arc? Oh, okay, yeah, logic, 100%.
Everyone else was gone. Everyone else was either on missions or incapacitated. So they were literally the only other choice.
Kakashi should not have been Hokage there. I think Naruto should have been. You can't. No, I don't agree.
Okay, if we agree to disagree, Black Star should have been Hokage.
You're literally doing a verse thing now. The universe does not work that way, okay? Plus, Black
Star's a ninja. It works.
All he would do is go in the battlefield and shout out sneak attack right in front of his opponent as the opponent's gonna blast him. And he wouldn't move for the blast. He would eat the blast. He would die. And then Kakashi would become Hokage, making it a worse scenario, proving you wrong on this podcast. Let's talk about the first Hokage.
All right, sounds good.
Hashirama.
So Black Star.
Hashirama, for real though.
Okay, cool.
All right, so he basically this individual is nothing but godly in my opinion. The Senju, the wood style, his abilities are off the charts here. Go ahead, Hotshot. First impressions on the first Hokage.
He is honestly the father of the village. Even just with his tone of voice or with his mannerisms, he's childish at times. He enjoys a fight. He enjoys goofing around, basically having fun with his role. But at the same time, he will step aside and actually, or not step aside, but stand up and prove himself. I am here for the village, or I am here to defend against whoever opposes the village. He's not a our way is the only way kind of ruler. He is open. He is open to communication. He's open to conversation and will only fight when absolutely necessary. So when it came to the fight between Harushirama, God, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. When it comes to the fight between him and Madara, so Madara being only the strongest to be Hokage, like all that matters is strength and basically just the Uchiha way. When the fight came between him and the first Hokage to basically decide who the first Hokage would be, I'm happy that Harushirama, I'm bad at names. I'm glad that he won instead of Madara, because if Madara won, then I honest to God think the Leaf Ninja would have been just like a League of Assassins or basically just killers to prove their dominance. Basically like the Sound Ninja. Do what? The Akatsuki village?
Yeah, basically.
Oh God, all of them would just have clouds on their headbands, and then the Leafs would be like freedom fighters.
I just remember like he was the first, so he did not know. He didn't have any predecessors that didn't know what he was doing to be good with, kind of thing. Also, he didn't achieve like any peace in his lifetime. Like Madara was still around, and Madara, is still in the fourth Ninja War. Like it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing where he had a bit of failure, but like strictly, like I think. His best thing here, you know what the best thing about the first is?
What?
His DNA.
You're gonna have to be way more specific because I went into a very dark place.
Everyone wants his DNA. Naruto loses his arm.
Okay.
Naruto loses his arm, and they give him a Hashirama DNA for him to grow back. Right? His wood style is insanely powerful. The 1,000 arm wood statue. Do you remember that in the 4th grade Ninja War?
I do, and I will say this about.
It is insane.
I will say.
Insane.
I will. You done?
Yes.
You done? Okay. I will say this about his DNA. His was the only one, like his wood style specifically, was the only one strong enough to actually contain tailed beasts and to actually hold on to tailed beasts. Like his DNA is so powerful that Yamato, when Four Tails went berserk inside Naruto, when he grew up to 4, he was at 4 at that point, right?
I believe so.
Was that 4 Tails or 5 Tails?
I think it was 4.
Okay, when he grew to 4 Tails, Yamato was the only one who could actually restrain him, and his reasoning was because the first DNA flows within him, and Naruto actually couldn't get through it, even though we clearly saw him absolutely destroying Orochimaru and the entire landscape around them.
Oh my god, yeah.
And that fight was, anyway.
That fight was incredible. But, like, Yamato is one of the best resources that the Leaf Village has, and the reason why is because he has Hashirama DNA. Do you get my point here? Like, his DNA.
And that's the only thing good about him.
No, but, like, Yamato would not be as good without Hashirama's DNA. I'm sorry. Like, please prove me wrong.
That's the only good. Honestly, I can't really think of what else really Yamato does if he didn't have the first DNA. If he didn't have the first DNA, honestly, he'd probably be dead.
Essentially.
Well,
he gets captured by
something
Kabuto,
else.
anyways.
Something else about the first DNA, like be it the Senju DNA or just the first, like just his personal DNA. Something else awesome that it gives us is Tsunade, the 5th Hokage.
Yeah, should we go through the 5th, or are we jumping out? I think we should go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, though.
No, I know. I'm just saying that, like, just connecting Tsunade to the first, that kind of thing.
The 1st to the 5th. There's a lot of connection because you also have a connection between the 4th and the 7th, the 6th and the 7th, the 1st and the 2nd,
the 4th and the 7th, the 4th and the 6th, actually, too.
4th and the 6th.
There's a lot of connections everywhere.
1st and the 2nd,
2nd and 5th, or 3rd and 5th.
3rd and 5th. A 3rd.
Actually, technically, 1st and 2nd and 5th, when you think about it.
1st and 2nd. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Enough. Let's talk about the 2nd. No.
All right, 2nd Hokage's up.
Yeah, 2nd
He's
Hokage.
a dick.
Tobirama Senju.
Tobirama is an absolute dick.
How?
You know, everything I just said about the first Hokage being open to talk and open to, like, communication, like, basically, like, he's the one who wraps his armor around the village there for protection, right?
Yeah.
Where he's the shield, Tobirama is the sword and just wants to annihilate everything that has even the most microscopical threat against the village.
Listen to me.
And wants them all dead.
No, listen to me. Quote straight from the wiki. Throughout his open quote. Throughout his lifetime, Tobirama would work tirelessly to achieve political stability and implement the institution that made the village system work, thus ensuring Konoha's continuity and prosperity. End quote. Does that sound like a sword?
But when you think about it, that's not the only.
Does that sound like a sword? You're generalizing. No,
because he's only focused on the political and the trade. He's not focused on the actual people of the village.
He's also a shield and a sword. He's more versatile. He had the first like framework to work with, and he made something better out of it. That's what happened. You just think that's just because he's very offensive with his techniques and the way he implements them that he doesn't make him a good Hokage. I cannot agree.
I'm not saying that like he didn't do anything for the village. I'm not saying that at all, because without him there would be no trade, there would be no like communication between the village, there would be no political like politics in the village to actually hold it and maintain it and actually hold on to an actual society. I'm not saying he didn't do anything for the Leaf. I'm only saying that in his tactics on only focusing for like, I mean, when you look at it, he probably is the only one to actually hold on to a maintained village, and then the rest, the Hokages thereafter, just kind of hold on to it and like maintain what he built. At the same time, the people were, I want to say, afraid of him when he was Hokage just because of how offensive he was. Like, he didn't give off he is our Lord Hokage. He gave off a don't do this or else you will die kind of vibe.
Right, but like still, as a ninja, he's on par with the first. He's not as strong as the first, but like just moving the conversation here, like his water style is the best in the series, straight up.
No, his water style. His water style is definitely the strongest of his own nature in the series. Like, even stronger than, honestly, the only comparison I have is Zabuza.
Okay, that's like a bug and Lord Frieza. Lord Frieza beats the bug.
That's like a monkey to your Frieza.
No. He's the monkey. Frieza's Frieza.
Wait, so we're blending So, I'm confused. Is Toriyama the bug and Frieza is Frieza? Or is he the monkey and Frieza is Frieza?
He's the monkey and Frieza's Frieza. Because the monkey is the Saiyan and the Saiyan beats Frieza.
Only after a massive power-up.
He is the massive power-up of the Hidden Leaf Village. He created the
I really don't think so.
He created the Shadow Clone Jutsu, and you picked that jutsu as your favorite Naruto jutsu on the Naruto Jutsu podcast. So he should be your favorite.
Did I pick that one as my actual favorite?
You did pick him in the Naruto Jutsu's podcast, I remember. I
thought I picked Rasengan as mine.
No, but I remember you picking this one. Either it was attack or defense. There was one podcast where you brought it up. So, yes.
I mean, I love Shadow Clone either way, so either way I'm backed into a wall. But
a water wall. Because after all, you're my water wall.
Just stop.
Ah!
I'm just saying that, like, some people have preferences to the first Hokage's way of running things, which is basically there to be, like, a guiding and helping hand to the village. And then Tobirama's way of running things being the politics and maintaining the village. Which, honestly, you can't have a village without doing both of these two things. But obviously, if, like, one maintains one and one maintains the other, you're gonna have a preference on, like, who is running your village. And mine just shifts over to the first.
Well, I mean, you're wrong, but that's okay.
Bite me.
All right, third?
Ow.
No, but seriously, do you want...
Sorry, I thought you said all right, third. I heard that after the fact. I thought you said all right then.
No, I'm not biting you anytime soon. Third
okay,
Hokage.
Cool, please.
Third Hokage. Hiruzen.
Hiruzen?
Sarutobi.
I'm just calling him Sarutobi.
Yes.
That's the name I grew up with, so that's the name I'm using.
So, the second Hokage was the mentor of the third Hokage.
Yeah, the first and second, actually. Both of them together.
So, I mean, this is where it comes into play the whole, the successor.
Hokage's teaching Hokage's thing.
Yeah, the successors, right?
Wait, did we ever mention that Tobirama was the first Hokage's brother, his younger brother?
Oh, sorry. Well, they're both in the Senju clan. I feel like people knew it's a given.
Yeah, but still, doesn't hurt to just bring up the fact.
Okay, it's brought up. Now can we talk about the third?
They're related. All right, Sarutobi, what do you got?
Oh, man. So here's the one little nitpick I have with Sarutobi. That I actually against the series. We never saw him in his prime. We only saw him as an old man.
That's fair. That actually is fair.
That bugged me.
Like, honestly, even when we saw him in flashbacks of when he was training the Sannin, he was still kind of an old guy. And even then, he was training. He was never like fighting in his prime.
Essentially.
I mean, from what I've noticed anyway, he was just like talking to the Sannin.
Yeah.
Like basically how Kakashi talks to Seven.
I mean, I remember seeing somewhere, and I don't know if it's right, but like he mastered every single jutsu in the Leaf Village, like the non-bloodline ones. Like he's the
Yeah, so like Shadow Clone. I mean, one of my favorite moves that he has actually is the Shuriken Shadow Clone.
Oh, that one's great.
I love that move.
It's awesome. Just cloning shurikens, it's like it sounds so simple, but it could be devastating.
Oh god, can you imagine like combining, like obviously this can't happen, but just imagine Haku's Crystal Ice Mirrors combined with Shuriken Shadow Clone.
That's insane. It also makes you think of in the Force of Death, what was the spiky needles? You know, like the ones
The Senbon.
The Senbon showers. It's similar to that.
And I love it. I love Shuriken Shadow Clone a bit more. Like, yeah, the rain of Senbon is awesome, but Shadow Clone Shurikens are just amazing.
Essentially, he beat the first and second reanimated when he was fighting against Orochimaru. That was.
To be fair, at that point, he also had way more experience than either of them did.
But it's two Hokages on one. Like, come on now.
It's two Hokages on one, yeah. Which I will, and he was fighting Orochimaru at the same time.
Yeah.
So yeah, this guy is anything but a pushover.
He's
like he
insane.
can be the sweet grandfatherly old man to the entire village, and especially to Konohamaru and Naruto. And he can be the absolute badass who just takes down two Hokages and his former pupil, who continues to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village as he is destroying him.
Essentially.
So I mean, this guy's storyline and this guy's, like, arm reach of, like, the history of the Leaf Village and, like, what he's done for future generations as well as his past generations goes on and on and on and on in both directions. Like, even, like you just said, when he mastered all jutsu of the Hidden Leaf Village, he's earned the nickname the Professor of the Leaf Village because of how much, like, his jutsu knowledge and everything like that.
Meaning he also mastered all 5 basic natures. His genjutsu's off the charts. So and he can when he summons the Monkey King Enma, that's another one that he has that like is a strong summoning that could like strangle Orochimaru and then he was a mud clump, but whatever, and holding back the sword. Like everything about this Hokage is insane.
Especially his death, in my opinion.
Reaper Death Seal, bro.
Reaper Death Seal, like, as a jutsu alone, is... The way that it works is it takes your soul and takes out the... Like, whoever you're fighting, essentially. And basically condemns you both to death. But... Even with his dying breath, even with, like, how weakened he was still able to weaken, like, not kill Orochimaru, unfortunately, but he was still able to weaken him so much to the point where Orochimaru could not use his arms, and therefore couldn't use, like, any hand signs for any jutsu.
Absolutely
And then
insane.
we find out, like, a few seasons later that it doesn't really matter because he can have Kabuto do the hand signals for him, but at the same time, he was trying everything in his power and thinking, like, how can I at least stop Orochimaru or, like, give us a bit more time to find a way to defeat him.
Exactly. I have a confusion, and I want to ask you, before actually my confusion, I want to ask you about, what did you think of him teaching the Sannin? Like, him as a Jonin, like, the master for the Sannin, and then becoming Hokage? Like,
honestly, with him being the master for Orochimaru, Tsunade, and Jiraiya, I honestly love the connection between that, because he honestly probably is... I'm gonna say, and this is like a conservative, is that the word? This is a strong opinion of mine that he's probably the second strongest Hokage, and to have him be the one to teach literally the ninja who went into legend by name alone, it honestly is kind of fitting for me.
And this isn't even a bit, I can't agree that he's the... Did you say second or third strongest? Like,
I said second strongest.
Dude, no. Like, get out of here. Like, Naruto is 100% stronger. Okay? And then Hashirama. These Rama names. Like, it's way stronger. And then we didn't even get to
again, I'm not
the yellow
thinking
flash.
Strength as just battle strength.
What are you saying strength as in that case?
I'm seeing it as battle strength, as what, I mean, first off, he's stronger than both the Hokages in, both the first Hokages, because he destroyed them in a fight when it was both of them against him.
No, those were reanimated. They weren't, like, full-fledged, like, strong, like, Hokages. And then, if you want to use that example, when they're reanimated in the 4th Ninja War, the first Hokage destroys and does way more than the third ever has. I'm sorry, but no, I cannot agree with that. That is insane.
Because anime logic.
No, but the first Hokage is stronger than the third. Like, he is.
Okay, anyway, what I mean when I say strength is I'm not just looking at physical battle strength, like just who can break a brick faster and harder and into more pieces. I'm looking at more than that. I'm looking at the intelligence. I'm looking at the experience. I'm looking at what they can pass on for the survivability of the Hidden Leaf Village moving on forward. And he does exactly that when he takes up the Sannin. One of his students ends up being the next Hokage, or one of the Hokages. And another one trains a future Hokage. Granted, another one turns evil and tries to destroy all Hokages, but 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Well, the second taught the third, so I mean, we could go back and forth all day here, Hotshot. But like, I don't think he's the best. I think if you're going with that, like, if that's your standard, watch Boruto and look at what like Naruto has done with the Leaf Village. Like, as the 7th Hokage, he's way better than the third. Like, the new system he's implemented, because
he grew up under the third. He knows like how the third ran things.
But he
knows how to improve upon it.
He's better than the third.
Because that's not just what comes like from Naruto. That comes from like growing up from the generation, learning how to expand upon it, learning how to make it better, learning how to improve it.
Can we agree that when you said he's the second best, that Naruto's above him? Can we? Yes.
We can agree on that.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Okay.
So in that case, I'm gonna have to put him in 3.
Okay, who's second?
You'll find out.
Okay. Well, here's my confusion. So when we started the series, the third is the third, right? The third is like
the third Hokage is the third Hokage.
He's the current Hokage, right?
Oh, I know your confusion already.
But the fourth was before him. Like, I'm confused.
Why did we go back to the third Hokage being the Hokage after the fourth died, right?
Go ahead.
So your confusion is, why did we go back to the third Hokage after the fourth Hokage died instead of selecting a 5th Hokage?
Yes.
This is my theory, and keep in mind, it's 100% theory. It could be right, it could be wrong, but this is just what I think on it. After the fourth died because of the nine-tailed fox, right?
Yes.
So the entire village has been destroyed. The entire village was in shambles. They needed a leader, and they needed one fast. And in the past, a new Hokage had only been selected due to the death of a former Hokage. They didn't have time to go in and elect a new Hokage, or like the Hokage stood down or anything like that. He died in the war to overtake the Leaf Village, and the third Hokage stood back up and took place as Hokage again. But the reason that he kept the third Hokage title instead of the 5th is because he was already a former Hokage.
Oh, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. I found also an answer on Google, maybe. After Sarutobi Hiruzen, the third Hokage, stepped down, Namikaze Minato, Naruto's father, became the 4th Hokage. Minato died during the Kyuubi attack, during which it was sealed inside Naruto, so they didn't skip the 4th Hokage, they just reinstated the 3rd after the 4th one.
So Minato was Hokage at the time, and then they reinstated the 3rd because of how badly the village was in tatters, so they needed a leader to lead them out of that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Their current leader
I see.
died in the battle.
All right, let's talk about the 4th in that case. Minato himself, the Yellow Flash, and he is my favorite. He is my favorite.
He's the father of a Hokage and the teacher of another Hokage.
And he's awesome.
He's amazing. I love Minato.
Okay. Who loves him more?
Me!
He's your favorite?
He's my second favorite. I mean,
well,
obviously, I gotta put Naruto at number 1.
So he's my favorite.
He's your favorite?
He is my favorite, yes.
But I still love him more.
Sure, whatever. Yellow Flash, oh man, I don't even know where to start with this guy. So
he created the Rasengan.
Okay, even before that.
He is the reason we have one of the best moves in the series.
No, I know, but before that, like, he was the fastest, because of his
teleportation technique, yeah.
His space-time ninjutsu, the Flying Thunder God, he had Sage Mode, like, he even, like, during the 4th Ninja War had the QB buff, just everything was insane because of him. He was so strong, like sealing half of the fox within his sun and taking the other half with him, like, that was crazy, too. So, absolutely a great Hokage.
So what are some of his feats as actual Hokage, aside from defending against the QB?
I honestly think that's his thing. Like, I think that's...
I know that's his biggest, but what else has he actually done as Hokage?
Brained. I don't know. That's all I know.
That was when he was a Jonin and not a Hokage.
No, he reigned as like other than being like killing.
Oh, he reigned supreme. Okay, I got what you're saying. I thought you meant like the Rain Village raid.
No. Oh, lol. No. Yeah, that's all I know on him, honestly, because there's not that much info after on him that I came across. Well, obviously we have the whole Kakashi chapter with Rin and Obito, but he wasn't a Hokage then. He was still a Jonin. So limited information. But what were your thoughts on him? Let's start with that.
I love Minato. Like, okay, so he may not be my favorite Hokage, but he is one of my favorite ninjas in the series. That I will just say straight up. Like, only because of the information that we have being so limited with his Hokage feats really only being the QB attack. Like, and that's really it. I love him more as a ninja than a Hokage. And I love him because he's so compassionate and he's so understanding with his students. He's honestly a screw up or worrywart when it comes to like Kushina when she's pregnant with Naruto, or when it comes to a guiding hand when it comes to Kakashi, who just watched Obito die in a failed raid attack on that mission, as well as him and his learning experience with Jiraiya, who I'm actually remembering that Jiraiya was his mentor, as well as the godfather and mentor to Naruto. So Jiraiya trained 2 Hokages. Suck it, Sarutobi. And just kind of sorry, I had to adjust. And he was just kind of he was basically a go-to dad for like everyone in the village. Like, he was there as support when Kakashi needed it. He was there. Admittedly, yeah, he had to sacrifice himself and Kushina so that the fox would stop terrorizing the village, but he still put himself in Naruto's seal so that eventually he could meet his son and actually talk to him, see how he matured. It's not the most ideal way, but at the same time, you know that he cared for Naruto even back then. Like, yeah, he wished that it wouldn't get to that point to where 8 Tails would sprout, but at the same time, he wanted to meet Naruto. He wanted to see his son grow. He put himself in the seal so that he could rebuild the seal basically from scratch so that the Nine Tails wouldn't escape. And so, honestly, he could see Naruto, like I've said like 3 times. So he's thinking 20 steps ahead. He's thinking about the village. He's thinking about his family. He's thinking about his students. He's there whenever you need him. And even when he was offered the position of Hokage, it scared him. He had no idea what to do. He had no idea what he was getting himself into when Sarutobi offered him the position as the 4th Hokage. Like, the people have spoken, and they've spoken for you. He had no idea what he was doing.
Right. I'm reading here on the wiki. He actually did a lot more than I expected. So he was chosen as Hokage before because of his performance in the Great Ninja War. It was either him or somebody else. Do you know who the other candidate was?
Jiraiya?
Orochimaru.
Oh, that would have been a much different storyline.
Oh, man. And then he taught his flying Thunder God technique to the Hokage guard platoon, the Anbu. He helped Kakashi and Obito grow. Like, he did some stuff. Like,
which I will. Okay, speaking of the Great Ninja War, I will say this: I do find it kind of beautiful how 3 Hokage, or at least 2 Hokages, and both of them being father and son, were chosen after the Great Ninja War. Just one of them we had to wait for a while. All right, that's all I wanted to get at on that one. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's all good. So that's all I had on the 4th Hokage. Would you like to go to your favorite? We all know this one's your favorite.
Tsunade?
Oh yeah.
Tsunade's not my favorite.
Tsunade is your favorite.
No, she isn't.
Really? Actually? I thought she was.
Really, actually, yeah. I love Tsunade, do not get me wrong, but she is not my favorite Hokage.
You hate Tsunade! I'm getting you wrong. No, I'm kidding.
Alright, so I guess I hate Tsunade. Fine. Hi! Hotshot hates Tsunade. Put that on a t-shirt.
When Tsunade is sought out by Jiraiya, I had no idea what to expect with her. And I'm so glad.
And I'm happy with everything we got.
I'm so glad we got her. First of all, I think it's important to have like a female representation in the Hokage lineage. Like, the fact there's only one female Hokage to me in Naruto, it's kind of a bummer. I kind of wish, like, what if Kushina instead of Minato was Hokage? You know what I mean? Like, why didn't we have like 4 female Hokages and 3 male Hokages instead? I don't know. I think that would have been cool just to have like a different balance.
But the funny thing about Tsunade, and I'm actually gonna tie in another village here real quick. The funny thing about her is that she's the 5th Hokage of the Leaf Village, and I don't remember her name, but Mai, or Mai, I always pronounce it wrong, is the 5th Tsujikage of the village hidden in the mist.
Oh my God, you're right.
Yeah. I actually thought about that a while ago when I was re-going through the series.
Look at you. I'm Rolling Stones.
Well, I'd rather be spiraling Rasengan, but okay.
Yeah. She's known as the greatest mythical ninja. I think no one's better than her. No one.
But when we met her, she was afraid of blood.
Okay, why?
Double standards.
Stop.
She was though. When we first meet her, she's afraid of blood. So
remember
whenever
when she's fighting Madara? Let's just go to awesome moments. She's fighting Madara, and her kick or her punch, I forget, breaks a Susanoo ribcage with a single finger. She cracks the floor.
She has like we said earlier, she's related to the first Hokage, but unlike most of the others who have their DNA or his DNA like surgically implanted, she is related by blood. She is his blood granddaughter.
Right.
So then you gotta understand what happened to his like son or daughter, like that entire lineage.
It's a whole thing. That's
a whole different thing. But she's related by blood. She inherited the strength of the first Hokage. That's where she gets the entire strength from. And she literally has the capacity to shatter an entire mountain in a punch.
Right. Another thing.
I mean, she defeats Naruto when she first meets him by just flicking his forehead. And there's just a scrape and line in the just straight up rock road or dirt road that they're in. Just sending him like flick, and he's down like 2 blocks.
Absolutely. She has temporary invincibility technically with her 100 healing jutsu, where she's just constantly healing. Like, she's insane. She's a tank. I freaking love her.
But she's not without her faults.
She's
a heavy gambler. She's a heavy drinker. She always like skimps out on her work to like either go gamble or drink. Whenever she is Hokage, like basically she hates being behind the desk. She does an outstanding job as the Hokage and running the village, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, whenever we see her, she's like ways behind on paperwork, or she's in debt, or anything like that happens to her.
No one's perfect, Hotshot.
I'm not saying anyone is, but I will say this. She is the first Hokage that we've seen that have faults like that, except for Minato, but we don't learn those until way later.
Right.
Every other Hokage.
His only fault is he just sealed like half a tailed beast inside his own son. No, that's not big. Nah, who cares?
Every other Hokage that we've learned about, we've only like heard and seen to be like doing nothing wrong. She's the only one that we actually get to see as like a human being, like basically falling back on habits or like neglecting work at times or going gambling, having fun, that kind of thing. So she's an amazing character. She is an amazing Hokage. And yeah, she is one of my favorites. She's at least, if nothing less, she is in the top 3.
No, definitely. I wanted to go to the next one, the 6th and then the 7th, because we do have some audience questions I want to get to.
Okay, sure.
All right, so Kakashi. In my opinion,
amazing ninja.
Like, obviously as a ninja, like Anbu and Jonin at a super young age, she's copied over 1,000 jutsus, you know. But like, here's my thing with Kakashi. Throughout the series, like, he was like my benchmark as a Jonin. Like, he was just like, how strong is a Jonin? Boom, Kakashi comes into my mind, right? So seeing him become a Hokage was kind of weird to me, especially after he becomes so much weaker by losing his Sharingan. As a fighter, I'm talking strictly as a fighter. I kind of is the beef I had at the beginning with you, Hotshot, here, where as a fighter, he's the weakest Hokage. He is guaranteed the weakest out of the 7.
After losing his Sharingan, because I didn't know he lost it permanently. I just thought that he lost it, or he gained both eyes and then he got him in both eyes. I didn't know he only got it back temporarily. But hearing that, I will say you're right. Physically speaking, he probably is the weakest. Like, especially since the first is still, like, I mean, he's the source of, like, all, or at least a lot of great DNA ninja The second is on par with him, if not stronger. The third is able to push them both back in reanimated form. The fourth took down an entire tailed beast. Granted, he had to sacrifice himself to do it, but he still did it. The fifth, Tsunade, we just went over, is able to shatter an entire mountain. And seventh, Naruto, beat literally the goddess of chakra and creator of ninja. So, yeah, Kakashi's a little bit weaker on this end.
Yeah, I definitely, I know I'm right. What are your thoughts on Kakashi on this one?
Kakashi as a Hokage, unfortunately, I don't really have that much to draw from. But Kakashi as, like, the character and actually being the smart choice and safe choice, at least as a placeholder until Naruto got into the Hokage role. I mean, Hokage in the game at least even says, we both know I'm here until you're ready to take over kind of thing. But him as Hokage honestly is still, especially after the war, for him to actually build up the village again, it makes a lot of sense.
It does make sense. I completely agree that it makes sense, thinking back on it. Still though, there's not much here. Like, I think like this is the shortest one we have to talk about. Like, next, right?
Yeah, next, because he was only Hokage for a very short time.
Very short time. All right, so let's talk about is this one your favorite?
Well, yeah, it's the title character.
Oh wow! What a well thought out choice.
Naruto!
The Maverick Knucklehead Ninja Naruto is our final Hokage up for discussion. Okay, let me tell you how OP this guy is. This is my thought. Naruto.
Can I just say this before you do?
Go ahead.
Naruto is the strongest Hokage in all sense of the word.
Do you know what? I will top that. He is stronger.
Right,
he is stronger as a fighter than all of the other 6 Hokages against him.
Okay.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. That's what I said before you even said that.
So you think all 6 Hokages versus Naruto wins, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're so boring. That's true, but
hey, you're asking my opinions. If you're voicing my opinions, I can do nothing but agree with my opinions.
All right.
Because they are my opinions.
Sage, a 6th path. He can fly. He has Sage mode, Beast Bomb, Rasengan, Rasen Shuriken. He has lava style,
a tailed beast
oil
inside
style,
of him.
Magnet style, summonings, chakra releases, all of them. He has an arm from the
Sexy jutsu.
first Hokage's DNA. I hate you so much right now. He is ridiculous. Here's my critique. He is
You what?
He is not a good father.
Okay, yeah, no, I will 100% back you up on that one.
It's Boruto's little sister's birthday. This is an episode of Boruto, okay? Get this.
Yeah, no, I went through this in the game.
Yeah, okay, so you know what? Okay, well, for the audience, Boruto goes up to Naruto and says, promise, man to man, promise, fist bump, you'll be there for what's her name? Like
Himamari's birthday.
Himawari?
Himawari's
birthday. You'll be there. Naruto turns around, fist bump back, eye to eye, I promise. Naruto is there for the birthday, but very quickly realize as Naruto is carrying the cake, he goes poof, and the cake drops. Meaning he had a freaking shadow clone attend his daughter's birthday. Like, that's horrible. That is heartbreak. He made it up to her because they had a parent-child day in the Leaf Village. He created this holiday in the Leaf Village where a parent and their child spent time together in the Leaf Village, and he spent time with Himawari. Him and Himawari like had a whole episode where she wanted like a tailed beast plushie. It was a cute episode. I liked it. And he does make up. It does come around where he makes it up to her. But still, like, as a father,
the only defense I can give. Okay, so I mean, don't get me wrong. Something like that is kind of Naruto. If you're going to make a shadow clone, have the shadow clone be at the Hokage office, and you yourself be at your daughter's birthday, right?
Right, but the shadow clone can't complete the work.
No, yeah, and I get that, but at the same time, you saw in person Tsunade ditch work to do gambling. You can ditch to see your daughter.
But it's very different times because the Leaf Village has like gone to a crazy new level. The Five Shinobi Alliance, like he has way more of a workload than Tsunade ever did.
No, and I understand that, but the only caveat I can give him, and don't get me wrong, I'm agreeing with you on everything you've said, is that he grew up with no father, and he grew up with like I have no idea how to do this, or I have no idea like what to actually do about this. Like, I have no idea how to actually raise a family. I have no idea how to raise a son. Like, he wasn't even a teacher of a squad or anything. Like, he had no underling except for Konohamaru, which was more like a brother that he grew up with. So that's the only thing that I can give him, is that he had no idea what he was doing as a father. I mean, granted, whenever someone becomes a father or mother for the first time, they don't have any idea what they're doing. But again, that's the only thing I can give him. And it's not much, but it's the only thing.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't justify the horrible things he's done.
No, and I will 100% back that up.
All right. I don't know about you, but that's kind of everything I had on Naruto. Any final thoughts on Naruto?
Naruto, as a Hokage, like, yeah, he has his faults, like, obviously the parenting thing. But as a Hokage, like, bringing the village into a new age, like, ushering in the next generation. Hell, even like talking to his classmates, like seeing what they've become, seeing like how they interact with him, like Shikamaru being his right hand, like Shizune was to Tsunade, or even just like Sai coming in to bring him intel, or freaking Konohamaru being one of the squad leaders that come in and get missions from him and just like come in, talk, and is, I believe, the godfather to Boruto, if I'm not mistaken. Like, just that kind of
unsure.
I am unsure about that, so don't quote me on that, but I believe that's how it is. But for him to have brought the village into a whole new way and whole new way of life, it's honestly nothing short of remarkable. So even though he does have his faults of learning to be a parent, like, I mean, honestly, we all will. So, but again, I've agreed with what you said. He honestly is one of the better Hokages, if not the best Hokage the Leaf has had.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always going to find...
Sorry, I just had to end on a positive note for him. I didn't want to end on, he's a bad parent. I had to go something on good.
Look at you. All right. Let's get to these audience questions from Facebook.
All right, shoot.
So, we have...
Because you have them. I don't have any of them.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just got them, like, right before the podcast started. So 2 questions from the same person. From Gabriel Renault, my good friend. What's up, Gab? He asked... His first question is, why did Naruto's father not come back during the Great War? So, Minato...
During the 4th Great Ninja War?
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to. I think, well, he was reanimated, right? So...
Yeah, he did.
No, he came back, but then, like, he left, obviously.
So, like, he disintegrated, right?
Yeah. So, like, he was reanimated by Kabuto, if I'm not mistaken.
He was reanimated by Kabuto. So, when the reanimation jutsu was laid to rest, so was all the reanimated soldiers, right?
I believe you are correct.
So that's why.
All right. And Gabrielle's second question is, which one is the weakest? Which Hokage is the weakest? And
6th, Kakashi. We talked about this.
Kakashi is the weakest. Why is Kakashi the weakest? Go back and listen to the podcast. No, okay. So, and then finally...
So the only thing that makes Kakashi Sensei the weakest Hokage is after the 4th Great Ninja War, yes, he does build up the village again, and he does do all these amazing things to get the village back on track. But strictly speaking from a battle perspective, after the Great Ninja War, we don't really see him fight, if not ever. And he is just strictly like a by the books, like... basically a manager at a restaurant, like managing the Leaf Village that way. And he's lost his Sharingan. He does still have fighting capabilities, don't get me wrong. He has his original art still, like Fang over Fang, Chidori. He still does have these techniques and these
Fang
fights.
over Fang?
Yeah, not Fang over Fang, sorry. What is it? It's not Headhunter Jutsu, although that is one. Fang Pursuit Jutsu. That's what it is, right?
Right.
Okay, so not Fang over Fang. Sorry, I mean Kakashi, dog jutsu, just kind of blend together.
You just went to the Rock
Inuzuka clan.
No,
yeah, I just went to Kiba.
The Rock Lee Rock Lee and his Ninja Pals episode.
Rock Lee Ninja Pals.
That's your mind just kind of shifted to that.
That is the best version of Naruto.
We're gonna have to podcast.
I say that jokingly, but I do love that show.
We need to podcast about it. We've done it before on episode 14, but I'd be so down.
Yeah. Talk about it later. Yeah. Anyway, I think we've come to the conclusion that it is Kakashi as the weakest Hokage, because we've actually gone over If we go over all of their feats in all of their lifetimes and then like compare it that way, we might come back to a different answer. But strictly as Hokage, like from the moment they get the title Hokage to the moment they leave Hokage, it's gonna be Kakashi, unfortunately.
Here's my ranking. I have a ranking of the Hokage.
Strongest to weakest.
Yes, weakest to strongest. I can go both ways. Doesn't matter. Okay, so weakest Kakashi, then Tsunade, then Hiruzen the third.
Okay.
Then Tobirama the second.
Okay.
Then Minato the fourth.
Okay.
And then Hashirama, and then Naruto.
As strongest.
Yes.
Okay.
What about you?
My ranking is a little bit different than yours.
Go ahead. What is yours?
So mine starts as Kakashi from weakest.
Yeah.
And then the third Hokage, Sarutobi.
Yeah.
And then the fifth Hokage, Tsunade.
Mm-hmm.
Second Hokage, Tobirama.
Right.
Rama.
Yeah.
Fourth Hokage, Minato Namikaze. Naruto's dad. First Hokage, that's not Hiruzen. That's the third fucking Hokage. The first Hokage is next, and then after that is Naruto.
Okay, well, you have something pretty similar. I think we just switched Tsunade in the third.
Tsunade and the third Hokage, I think, is the only one we switched.
Yeah. All right. So, and the final question we have, it's from Claudio Attilano. Sorry, I was just trying to say that properly. Why was the second Hokage? I think the answer is simply like he was nominated by his own brother, right? His older brother.
Yeah, because first Hokage stood down, I believe, and actually supported Tobirama going in, right?
I believe that is the case. I believe that is what happened. Yeah.
Okay.
So
because I don't think the first Hokage was dead when Tobirama took place as Hokage.
Agreed.
Okay.
So, that was all the questions. Let's get into your final thoughts, Hotshot, on the Hokages. Go ahead.
Final thoughts on Hokages. Honestly, like not just Hokages, but Kages in general being the leader of your hidden village. It honestly is the biggest title that you can get in the village and the biggest, I guess, privilege or honor. Yeah, the highest honor. The highest honor that you can do of a village is to be like the head honcho, be the head of the village, the leader of the village. And throughout the Hokages, even though like some get bumps more than others, like the first Hokage had to essentially kill his best friend, meaning Madara, in the Final Valley fight. Tobirama was kind of cold and heartless to the people, but ultimately brought the village around. The third Hokage being like basically an elderly grandfather to all of the village and also being able to put up a fight. The fourth Hokage putting everything on the line to save the village from the biggest threat that it's ever come across, being a nine-tailed fox. The fifth Hokage accepting her role and accepting her destiny as fifth Hokage to overwatch the village. The sixth Hokage to be a placeholder for the village. And then Naruto, who we learned from episode 1 of the series to be Hokage is his number one dream, and then for him to finally achieve it. Yeah, I mean, I'm going more on Naruto more than the Hokage aspect on that, but that is just a beautiful thing to see that he finally made it. So I love all 7 of these Hokages, even though number 2 I give a lot of shit. But all of them are very important, and all of them all have a very important part to play in the Hidden Leaf Village that we know.
All right, I want to ask you one last question before I get into my final thoughts. I just thought of this.
All right, shoot.
Okay, it's 2019. We're in May.
Right.
Naruto's the current Hokage. Boruto is currently on 120 plus episodes. Don't know how many episodes it's going to be in total. And Naruto's the current Hokage. He won't be Hokage forever, and I have a strong feeling Boruto's not going to be over it for a long time because despite people hating it, it's quite successful. Who is the next Hokage after
Sasuke.
Naruto? The 8th? You think Sasuke's the next Hokage?
I think he has the biggest shot, but I think he's going to pull a Jiraiya and be offered the shot, but he's going to turn it down.
So who do you think is going to be I want a name. Who is going to be the 8th?
Shikamaru.
You think Shikamaru is going to be the 8th Hokage?
I would honestly really love to see that if I'm being 100% honest.
Okay. I have a bit of an oddball decision here, but I think it's very possible.
Go.
I think it's gonna be Sarada.
I can see her eventually being Hokage, but her being the next Hokage, I don't think so.
I think she's gonna be the next Hokage because Naruto's gonna reign longer than any other Hokage because he's like the main character. You know what I mean? Like it was always like I'm gonna be Hokage, right?
But take this into consideration. If she's still a Genin and God forbid Naruto dies, who's gonna take over?
It's a risk I'm willing to take on this one. I think she is next in line. I think she's gonna be 8th, regardless.
I honestly want to back you up. I really do, because I really do want to see Sadara as the 8th Hokage. I really do. But I don't think enough time is going to have passed between Naruto being Hokage and not. So I honestly want to say Shikamaru. I want to say Sarada. I really do, but I'm going to have to go Shikamaru.
The thing is, she's like vocalized wanting to become Hokage quite a bit in the anime.
No, I know, exactly like Naruto has, and I get that. But I'm saying that.
So has Boruto, right? And there's
no,
rivalry.
He said that being Hokage was the last thing that he would want.
No, but he has had moments where he wanted to say he was Hokage. And when Sarada brings up that she wants to be Hokage, it strikes a chord in Boruto every time. He kind of has a reaction to that. So
because his dad's Hokage and like he doesn't want to see his best friend become the horrible dad.
No, but you get what I mean, because he wants.
I get what you mean. Yeah,
Boruto wants to be Hokage.
Yeah, but if I choose between Boruto or Sarada, I'm choosing Sarada.
No, same. I think she is. I think she would be well fit, and plus another female Hokage would be a great change.
Yeah. All right, you ready for your final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I absolutely love doing this podcast. These Hokages all have the rights and the wrongs, and all did the right things and the wrong things. They all have their different places, and it's a great lineage to see, and it's a great evolution, because as we talk about the Hokages, we also talk about the history of the Leaf Village, and so I really, really enjoyed dissecting them and going through their abilities and seeing like what a Hokage really takes. I think a cool topic we could do later on is like ninjas that could have been Hokages, like ninjas that would be strong enough to be Hokages.
Like Orochimaru instead of 4th.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like that would be a cool podcast we could do at some point. Just an idea I'm throwing out there. So that's my final thoughts. Hotshot, go ahead and plug your thing. All right, so you said it'd be the year of the ginger. We're almost in June at the time people were listening to this. We're almost halfway through 2019. Will you upload in the remainder of this decade or not?
I will upload in the remainder of this decade. However, saying that this would be the year of the ginger, I got too big for my britches very quickly, and I heavily apologize for that. I said last time in the last podcast, guys, that I did have a surprise for you, that I would be able to record my gameplay and I would actually be able to upload a ginger video this month. Unfortunately, the equipment that I had was not matching the bare minimum requirements of actually recording said gameplay. So, unfortunately, I will have to postpone it, but when I do get the chance, I will be purchasing the correct equipment, so hopefully sooner rather than later, I will be able to actually record, and I have actually been talking to Jaian off the podcast about possibly doing some more stuff with him to actually upload to my channel. So, in the future, there will be more Hotshot Ginger stuff, but in the meantime, you guys can always find me here at JaianMusic's channel on Anime Podcasters. And when the time comes, and trust me, there will be a time coming, you guys will be able to find me over on my channel, Hotshot Ginger, and you will be able to find me on Twitter at Caution Ginger. So,
he's in my channel, but
that's what I have.
Go subscribe to him.
Subscribe to me so that you can keep in mind that I will eventually upload. And when you see that glorious upload, it will be the first one in 5 years that you will see.
The last one was February 2018, I looked.
Okay, so it's been well over a year, but still, the last episode, or the last video I uploaded, I believe, Jaian helped me with. It is a song cover, and I'm really, really proud of it. If you guys would like to give it a listen, I think this is the most I've ever plugged ever.
Yeah, and I was like, are you tweeting ever? And I saw you tweeted something about the Marvel Universe and the Avengers.
I did,
what was that about?
That tweet was just so before the MCU came around, it was just a heavy thought that I had about like my history with Marvel and like how I grew up with Marvel and what the MCU did to change some of my thoughts on some of the characters.
Right on. That's awesome. Okay. This Marvel thing, I want to get back to it before the end of the podcast because it has to do with something very important that's coming up.
All right.
Before I plug myself, I want to tell you guys to go subscribe and go follow at GoProKeel. He's recently uploaded a video updating what's going on his channel, and I was so happy when I saw him uploading something. I was like, yes, he uploaded something, and I shared it, and I'm so proud of you, Keel. Keep up the amazing artwork, the amazing work you do. He is available for freelance. He has amazing artwork. His website is gorgeous. Go hire him. He has affordable rates. He's a really talented artist, and I mean, I really think you should just consider, if you need artwork or animation for your project, go check out GoProKeel. He should be at the top of your list. For myself, you can follow me on Twitter at JaianMusic. Make sure to like the podcast on Facebook, facebook.com/anime podcasters. Subscribe to the podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, and YouTube on youtube.com/JaianMusic. Those are all the places. You can also join me on Discord, JaianMusic.com if you want to hire me for all of your music and audio services. And finally, the next topic, Hotshot. I'm going back to Marvel because the next topic, I think we need to pull it out, man. We need to do Marvel versus anime.
You guys know my side.
So this is how the next podcast is going to work. I need to explain it because it's more complex.
Truth told, I would like you to explain it to me as well again anyway, so we're good. Yeah.
So I have explained this to Hotshot. It's a bit convoluted, but it's going to be so awesome, I promise. This is how it's going to work. Hotshot will select 5 Marvel characters, and I will select 5 anime characters. They will be characters 1 through 5, right? Okay, you got me so far?
Got you so far. 5 characters each.
Okay, so there's a site called VS Battles Wiki, and this wiki ranks characters based on their feats. They have a tiering system from 9 all the way to 0. The lowest you can go is 9C. The highest you can go is 0A. You see what I mean? Because it goes 9C, 9B, 9A, 8C, 8B, 8A, and it goes, the higher you go, the stronger you are, okay? We will both select a tier, so either one from 0 to 9. So let's say we draw tiers 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We have to select, I have to select an anime character from each tier, and he has to select a Marvel character from each tier. Do you get me so far?
I get you so far.
Okay, and then we will make our list. We will make our matchups. We will research them, and we'll go through all 5 matchups and say why. I will debate why my character wins or why his character wins. So let's give you a random example. Let's say you name me a Marvel character. Name me a strong
Iron Man.
Iron Man. Okay, so Iron Man. I'm gonna name Sasuke. I don't know if they're in the same tier. Let's say Iron Man and Sasuke are in the same tier. Now, Hotshot and we're gonna go through all of Sasuke's feats. We're gonna go through his strength, his defense, his speed, his battle experience, everything, and then we're gonna go through Iron Man's. We're gonna see where each character is stronger, and then whoever has the most, where they're stronger, wins that fight. That's how it's gonna work. You get it?
I get it. I hope you guys get it.
I think I'll re-explain it at the top of the next podcast too. And sorry for taking so long to explain, but I just really want this to be cleared out. I'll make a tweet about it. I'll really explain it detailed so everyone understands. It's going to be an amazing... This is one of the topics I'm most excited for. Because if there's one thing Hotshot is passionate about, it's Marvel. Guys, this kid was born in the Marvel universe. He's the one canon human Marvel character. You do not know how much this ginger breathes Marvel. And you've been on this podcast for so long, and I appreciate you so much. And I just want to do a topic that like you feel at home. Welcome home, buddy. Episode 57 is gonna be your home.
It's such an awkward number to be home at.
You know what? You take it. Just take it.
All right, I'll take it. I will take being home on episode 57 with the Marvel universe, and you will be destroyed.
Oh yeah, no, you're so done. You are so losing. You like you think like You think?
All right, guys, I don't want to ramble on too long, so we're gonna cut this one here.
Oh, yo. All right, no, but seriously, we've been recording for quite a while, so that's gonna be everything for this episode of Anime Podcasters. For Hotshot, for myself, and anyone else that's listening to this podcast, thank you so much for listening, and we will see you in the next Marvel vs. Anime podcast. Bye, guys.
Bye. Marvel wins.
No.